My name is Carlos Salinas, and this is the Real Estate Trifecta. And right now, this is a public service announcement.
Uh-oh.
No joke. I need everybody to pay attention. My OGs, triple OGs. It's never too late for OGs to learn something new. Pay attention. To my millennials, put the avocado toast down.
Down.
Pay attention. And to my young gunners, put the oat milk latte down. With the little hazelnut in it. Put it down. Pay attention.
This guy is funny.
This is the Real Estate Trifecta. My name is Carlos Salinas. I'm with Signature Premier Properties, and I have a pleasure. This is a pleasure to be starting our very first podcast. I'm here with two outstanding brothers that are titans in their industries. And first and foremost, before we get started, we got to pay the bills. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Arca from EPM Real Estate Photography and Eagle Eyes Inspections. If you guys need anything that has anything to do with podcasts, real estate photography, or home inspections, give my boy a shout out. You can hit us up. His information is going to be below. Today's a very special show. Right now we are in a very special time, tax season.
Yes, we
Yes,
are.
indeed.
It's about to get crazy. We got some people waiting for the check.
Yep.
And we got some people sweating. We're going to find out who they are, but we are definitely in the presence of greatness when it comes to that. We are going to be going over a couple of things, tips, stuff to help through the process. And I just want to pass the buck to my co-host. These gentlemen are amazing, titans in the industry, like I said. Take it away, brother.
1 2 1 2. I am Kevin Spann. Kevin Spann, the insurance guru.
There you go. I
Kevin
love that.
Spann from the 11798, but I didn't get stuck behind that gate. I'm here, and I'm happy to be here with you. I am the exclusive Allstate insurance agent. Been in the business so long. Just look forward to kicking it with you brothers and sharing whatever I can.
100%.
More importantly, we're talking about taxes today, so I got to introduce my brother to the left.
There you go.
Mr. CFP.
Mr.
Take it
CFP.
away.
All right,
Mr.
now
CFP.
listen, I'm going to tell you
CFP.
right now, next time we do this, I can't follow this guy. He's too smooth. Ark, did you hear this guy? He's too smooth. Listen, I am not that smooth, but I'm Lou Soriano, CFP.
Kev got the R&B voice.
Also known as Lou CFP. CFP, whatever you want to call it. But been doing this for a minute. We are in the middle of tax season. I'm extremely busy doing this, but had to take a time out to chop it up with these guys.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to be here. I thank you for having me be a part of this. I'm honored to be a part of this. And let's do it.
Well, listen, we're happy to have you. And this episode it's just a basic introduction of who we are, what we do, and how we service our communities. Obviously, my name is Carlos Salinas, and today I am making a big announcement.
Tell him.
Huge announcement.
Talk to him.
Formally changing my name.
Talk
What's
heavy.
it going to be?
Mr. You don't need 20%.
One
Say
time.
it one more time.
Mr. You don't need 20%.
Mr.
That's
You
it.
don't
My
need-
name is not. You see me at Stop and Shop in aisle 5. Mr. You don't need 20%.
That's it.
That's it.
I love it.
Anytime that you are looking for a home and you are ready to purchase, you do not need 20% to put down on a house. I can guarantee it. There's so many different avenues, so many different methods on purchasing a home because I'm the real estate portion of this trifecta. Anything that you guys might have real estate-wise, questions, anything that you might need, every day I'm hustling, and I'm always going to be ready to help service the community. So today is going to be a Q&A session amongst our peers, and I'm going to start with Kev.
Talk to me.
Mr.
Mr. You don't
Mr.
need 20%. Talk
Mr.
to me.
R&B voice. I'm loving it. Smooth. Listen, brother, you've been doing this for a minute.
Yes, sir.
I know that you're very successful. You are with Allstate, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how long you been with them?
I've been with Allstate for 30 plus years, running my own agencies for 14 years.
Okay.
I've purchased 3 so far. Still young, still gunning, still grinding. So always looking to do more. The goal is to help as many people as I possibly can. So I'm very far from being done.
Okay, fantastic. I got a question.
Talk to me.
So I remember there was a segment, stand-up comedy. I'm a big person stand-up.
Okay.
Chris Rock was on stage and he made a reference about insurance. You know,
Here we
what I'm saying?
go.
Like, right? He made a reference about insurance, right? You pay insurance monthly. You pay insurance yearly, right?
Yep.
That's right.
In case something happens.
That's right.
If nothing happens, should you get your money back?
Nah.
Doesn't
You
work
should be-
that way.
Chris
You know,
Rock.
Chris Rock, I appreciate that question.
Yeah.
You should be happy nothing happened.
That's true. Okay, that's
you,
right.
you should
That's
be
right.
happy nothing happened. You know,
All right.
if you want to run and play in traffic,
All right,
you
that's
know,
true.
if you want to get in
This
an
is
accident,
true.
if
It's
you
true,
want
it's
to put
true.
your car in front of somebody, if you want your house to catch on fire, you know, if you want to cash that life insurance in early,
Okay.
those are all things that can happen. But insurance is something you pay for that you hope you never need.
Okay.
You know, you hope you're never in an accident.
Right.
You hope your car or your apartment is never on fire. The only certainty insurance that you're ever going to need is on the life insurance side because we all
Okay.
got an expiration date we don't know. So that one,
100%.
That one
you
is,
want that
100%.
one, but not too soon. You're not in a rush to get it.
100%.
and that's
Okay.
for your beneficiaries, right? You don't
Absolutely.
get insurance for you. It's for your loved
Absolutely,
ones.
it's for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Do the process, right? Now, I'm a big proponent of insurance. I love to know that if something was to happen to my stuff, I got a check coming in the mail to make sure that I'm going to be able to cover whatever losses or expenses, whatever the case may be. In your experience, you know, how much insurance should, you know, someone have throughout their course of life? I know you talked about the most
big.
important.
That's big.
Yeah, the most important was life insurance, and of course, you know, you want to take care of your family, but should everything be insured? I mean, you know, in real estate, we have to, in order to close on a deal,
Absolutely.
have to go through an insurance agent. Have to.
You have to. So you asked the magic question: how much does somebody need? Well, this is the real estate trifecta. So let me come at you from a real estate point of view.
Waiting. I'm ready.
You should have enough insurance to protect your assets.
100%.
To protect your assets. So
100%.
when you starting out and you're living in mom's house, you don't need much. You need the state minimums. When you get that starter house, you need that starter level insurance. And then when you moving up, when you balling, when you posting online like
Talk to 'em.
it's all good, then you need to elevate that insurance so that
Umbrella
balling,
policies.
liability
You're leveling up. You're leveling
level,
up.
so it properly
You're
protects
leveling up.
your assets.
Right,
okay?
right.
You don't want to be caught out here that you posting like a baller,
Right.
but you're insured like you live with mom. So that's
Wow.
how much insurance that you need to protect
Wow.
it. So sometimes you get caught in the game,
Wow.
and there's a lot of funny companies that'll save you 15% in 15 minutes, but they're real quick to save that. But they don't realize that
Kevin's
you're
not
on the
taking
come
shots.
Up. You're on the come up. You're on
course.
the come up, and your insurance got to come up with you.
100%.
So I'll give the question back to you. I'll give it to Lou. When people coming to you looking for houses, anybody come to you, Los, and say, Mr. 20%, I want you to put me in the cheapest, most rundown house that you possibly can, because as long as it's cheap, I don't care what the house looks like.
Right.
So-
absolutely not.
There's two parts to that, right?
Okay.
You have your investors. Obviously, an investor take whatever you give them, you know, for the right price. You know, you got to understand, you know, there's only but so much you can put into a house
No question.
before you're upside down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't go to, you know, Jerusalem Ave in Queens where the Home Depot's at and get, you know, Persian rugs and then expect somebody or whoever's
Right.
going to purchase that house to pay for it and then think that that's going to count towards, you know, equity. No, it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? So to answer your question, it's twofold. It really depends on the buyer. You know, investors, you know, will always take advantage of anything that you can give them because they're going to fix it up.
And
turn
they're
it for a
looking at
profit.
it. That's a
100%.
turnover thing for
That
them.
makes
Yeah.
sense. It makes sense to buy that rundown house in a bad neighborhood because you're
100%.
going to invest and you're going to build it up for
100%.
Yep.
for the come up. So can I flip the
the
same
average
question
buyer.
for the average buyer? Go ahead.
For the average buyer, not so much. You know, you know, you want to make sure that they're taking care of, their assets are taken care of course, but you also want to make sure that they're buying in. I personally like to make sure that at least a majority of my clients understand that. And the market is always unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. i.e. 2008. You never know.
Don't know.
But, for the most part, you want to be able to buy and invest in your property and,
100%.
accumulate, enough equity so that, down the line, when it's time to move to Boca or Texas, where you can have a mansion for like $200,000.
Yeah, not so much anymore. I mean,
Not so much. Not
it's
so much.
expensive down there. It's expensive everywhere now.
Your assets are protected. So, yes, they're, to answer your question as much as possible. But, yeah, man, it's not in this market. It's a little crazy. It's been a little hectic. So I'm pretty sure. I know you've been busy.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? I know I've been busy. But as far as what we do as individuals in our practices, yes, I'm in real estate. Kev is in insurance. But today.
This day.
This today.
Wow.
This
Right now.
episode.
Tandem.
Right here.
You want to talk about pressure.
Right here.
You want to talk about pressure.
Right now.
It's on. It's been on.
Mr. CFP.
Mr. CFP.
He's been at the end of the table real quiet.
I'm telling you, it's because I'm spent, man. But you
There
know
you
what?
go.
I had to be here. I had to find the energy to be here with you guys.
I got my first question, because
Yes,
yes,
sir.
it is tax season. This is probably one of the most important seasons
Uh-huh.
for anybody. I got two important questions.
Okay.
Number one, I went to the zoo the other day,
Uh-oh.
Oh,
right?
okay.
I was trying
real?
to
You
price.
went to the zoo?
I was
Like,
trying
for
to
real?
price out some giraffes.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Where's
you're
my
talking about-
stimmy?
You're
Yes.
talking
Where's
about
my stimmy?
Yeah.
Where's my stimmy?
That's an excellent question. So I'm sitting here
Where's my
like
stimmy?
listening carefully, right? When you're talking to Kev about insurance, and everybody wants a cheap insurance, and then to your point, until something happens,
Correct.
then you want the good coverage, right? And I'm sitting here thinking, that's what happened to me last year, bro. What happened was, obviously, most people don't want to file taxes if they don't have to. They want to be paid. Well, not most people. I should correct myself.
No.
There are some people who are in
100%.
cash businesses, so they
No question.
don't claim it, whatever, and I don't judge. Do your thing. But the minute they heard there were stimulus checks,
Oh, yeah.
everybody wanted to file a return, even if they said they made $2,000 last year. But if that'll get
I
me
got some
$1,200,
zebras on layaway.
I will say, yeah, cut me a 1099, or I'm going to self-report. And everybody wanted a stimulus check. So, yeah, that started last year, and that's been carrying over even till now. So, yeah, as far as where the stimulus check is, my answer
want my
to
check.
all of my clients is you got to call Joe. Call 1-800-JOE,
There you go.
Joe Biden.
There
He'll
you go.
find out where your check is. Or the IRS, because once it's it's almost like the ether, seriously.
Right.
Like once you file your return and you go on the IRS portal to find out where your stimulus check is. It's tough, and it's tough for the people who need it most, unfortunately. So, I help as much as I can,
100%.
but I can't. I don't know where the
You can't
stimmies
call
are.
in. But what I heard you say though is you got to be in it to win it.
Yes,
you
sir.
got
Yes.
You had to have filed that 2018, 2019.
2019.
Man, you had to file something. 2018, 19, and now 20. And if
So-
you didn't get one in 19, based off your 18 or 19, and you have lower income in 2020, you actually can file for a recovery rebate credit. So if you weren't eligible in 19,
Pay attention.
your income is lower in 20, well, you could get these stimulus checks based off your income on your 2020 return.
Okay.
It's called a recovery rebate credit.
Okay.
Talk to him.
Ask your accountant about that. Look into it, Google it, YouTube it, understand what it is. Recovery rebate credit. You could get the stimulus if you didn't get it, as long as you're eligible.
How does that? So, okay. Individuals. What if you got kids?
So here's an interesting thing. Well, what are we talking? We're talking about round 1 and 2 or round 3. There's different rules. Where you want to go? 1 and 2?
Let's start with one. Yeah,
Let's go with 1 and 2.
All right, yeah,
Okay,
let's do
with
that.
1 and 2, the rules were if your AGI, adjusted gross income, was $75,000 or less for individual filer, 150 or less married filing joint, 112.5 head of household, you get a full stimulus.
Right.
That being $1,200 each, and if you had a dependent, that was an extra $500.
Okay.
Round 3 now, it's changed as a result of the American Rescue Act. And what they have now is $1,400 stimulus checks for individuals. The criteria is the same as far as adjusted gross income: 75,000 single, 112.5 head of household, 150 married filing joint. You could tell I've done this before.
What I want the people to notice, Mr. CFP is Mr. You don't need 20%. Mr. CFP does not have a piece of paper in front of him.
No paper, man. This is off the top.
This is off the top.
This is off the top.
Freestyling.
So I got it, right?
He freestyling here. He good. Talk to him.
That's it. So, but I'll tell you what, if you have dependents, unlike round 1 and 2 where you got 500, you get 1,400 for a dependent now. And unlike round 1 and 2, where if you had a dependent who was 16 and over, they were no longer eligible for the dependent credit. Now you could have adult dependents eligible for the stimulus, and it's for the full 1,400. So, you know, it's a big change.
That's big.
So you're a family man.
Yes, sir.
Let me scratch that. We're all family men.
Yes, sir.
April 15th is the day.
Not anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
They pushed that back too.
Okay.
Please
17th.
talk on that.
It's May 17th. It would be May 15th, but I guess it falls on a weekend, so it's May 17th is the tax filing deadline. However, Carlos, that is not. That's a deadline for filing and for paying. If you are a quarterly filer, meaning you pay estimated payments, that's still due on April 15th. That's a key distinction. So make sure you get those estimated payments in if you file quarterly. Gotcha. But yeah, for most people, it's pushed back to May 17th.
So again, because this is the time where, topics of conversation like this are probably the most important. A lot of us file differently. I'm a 1099. A lot of people file W-2s.
Yeah.
Can you... And I promise you, this was when I started my own business. I was a lifelong W-2 person that filed a W-2 for
me too.
My life, my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started when I graduated from college, 2008, I was working for a not-for-profit for about 10 years, Cornell Medical College. Shout out to my boy Messiah. And throughout that time, I've always filed a W-2, but when I decided to take the plunge and start this real estate
you get
1099s.
1099s.
Correct.
1099.
Yeah, you're an independent contractor.
My check is not guaranteed bi-weekly. Just putting that out there. For a lot of us that file 1099s, we don't wait for a direct deposit bi-weekly or even monthly.
Yep.
Some people get paid monthly. So for somebody in my position that, needs to, I have an LLC, and these are topics that we're going to touch on as well.
Yep.
How does somebody, or what's the difference between a W-2 and a 1099 versus a 1099?
Okay.
And what are the processes of filing between both?
Yep. So, I want to ask you something, Kev, because I want to rope you into this just for a second. Only because, seriously, you have this. You have your insurance practice, right?
Right.
So the people who work for you, are they 1099 or W-2, or am I digging
both.
too deep?
You have,
you have both. So that's what I'm asking. That's where I was going
I have
with it.
salaried employees.
Yep. Okay.
And I have 1099 independent sales agents.
Right. Okay.
Contractors.
Okay.
That
just
was
like Carlos. So I have both.
Right. Okay. So that was my assumption. So he's kind of like in the middle, right?
Correct.
And then like in the real estate. Industry, you guys are all on 1099. My son's a realtor too. He gets 1099. Correct. So
shout out to Justin.
Shout out Justin. Always shout out
That's
Justin.
my guy.
Yeah. So the difference between W-2, 1099. So obviously W-2, to your point, you get paid every week. You're guaranteed.
Correct.
And there's some big pros of getting paid on a W-2, right? You're guaranteed an income every week or bi-weekly.
Yep.
You have taxes paid for or withheld for you. Your employer pays half your self-employment tax. In addition, you have benefits like insurance, and you have maybe a 401k and things along those lines. So those are all the pros. When you're a 1099, you have to do all those things on your own, and sometimes people have trouble doing that, right? Because you're getting all your income, no tax paid, no tax withheld, no insurance, no retirement plan. So there really should be a lot of planning with the 1099 compared to a W-2.
Okay.
But a lot of expenses that you incur both as a W-2 or 1099, advantage 1099, because you could deduct all of those things, especially in times like now. We're in, COVID times, home office times. You can't do that as a W-2. You can as a 1099.
How do I deduct the air that I breathe?
Yeah.
Walking up and down these damn stairs, man. Let me tell you that right
you can't do. I don't think you could do that as 1099 or W-2.
That's either.
I'm putting mileage on my body. Like, this is,
But that's the most common question I'm getting now is, hey, I set up a home office.
Right.
I want to deduct A, B, and C, and unfortunately, you cannot do that as a W-2. 1099, you can. So that's a good.
I'm sure.
Can I jump in real quick?
Go ahead, brother.
Just to piggyback on you, I was a W-2 with Allstate for 20 years on the inside.
Sure.
And then 14 years independent on this side, going 1099. But for anybody that's in that mix, especially now, this is the reset button, right?
100%.
A lot of good jobs shut down. A lot of people are not going to be able to go back to what they used to do, so they're going to make this move to be some sort of independent contractor
100%.
in their own business.
Yeah.
Been creative doing their own thing at home. But, Lou, talk to the people about when you make that transition. I remember it. You stirred up the emotion.
Right.
When I made that move to go 1099, now a lot of the things that Mother Allstate used to take care of for me, I didn't have to think about it.
Right.
They took care of my taxes out of it, all of the
that's what I'm saying. So
everything was in there
in some respects.
But once you make that move, Lou, even when people come to me about insurance, 'cause I'm starting a business, the first thing I asked you, have you talked to Mr. CFP? Have you been set up the right way? Because there's moves you got to make. So talk to them about that.
Yeah, so there's levels to that too, right? So I usually tell people if you're netting, right, after expenses, let's call it $40,000.
Okay.
You probably should look into structuring a different way, either as an LLC,
100%.
or an S corp. S corp. I'm a big fan of the S corp. I don't want to go on and on about it, but just know this.
Real quick, what's the difference between the two? Because that's really important. When I started up, real quick.
So if you're an LLC, really it has no tax advantages. An LLC has no tax advantages. That's a misnomer unless you make the S corp election. So you could be Acme LLC, but until you make the S corp election, Acme LLC taxed as an S corp, do you have the tax advantages? And the reason why the S corp is more advantageous in most cases, once you're netting over $40,000, $50,000, is because you're going to have the best of both worlds. You're going to have a W-2 that you pay yourself through the S corp. It could be a reasonable salary, small salary, right? For that, and then the
I make $22,000 a year.
Yeah, everybody makes $12,000 a year.
I'm putting it out there right now.
Right, that's reasonable for almost everybody, it seems.
That's all you need.
Right. And then whatever else, let's say it's $100,000. I always like using that number because it's easy math. And you say, hey, I make 20. Well, the other 80 is, you avoid the self-employment tax on that.
Right.
And so you have a W-2 and you have net profit or self-employment. It's not self-employment income. It's a profit through the business. So it's kind of like a best of both. You could deduct a lot of expenses as you would if you were just a Schedule C self-employed filer, and you get a W-2. So it's kind of win-win.
I wanted to touch on something real quick because speaking of going back to the moment when, you transitioned from W-2 to 1099, I'm using my own personal experience, right? I want to give a major shout out to my brother from another, my ace, my guy, the dude that I do business with about 99.9% of, my day. I'm on the phone with him maybe 2 to 3 times a day. My brother, my man, Zach Scher.
Zach.
Team Scher. This, talk about titans. You know what I mean? Humble. And
I haven't met Zach. See, I'm calling.
Good dude.
You gotta meet this dude.
Good dude.
I've
heard a lot of good things about him.
He's a real cool dude.
I have not met him.
I've known Zach since college. We were both RAs at CW Post. Not LIU Post, CW Post.
I went there
Long
too.
Island University.
I got my CFP
alumni.
from
There you
CW.
go. I've known Zach since 2005. And, we decided when I was living in the city, and this is a true story, by the way. When I decided to buy a house, he helped me purchase my house.
Oh, nice.
When I decided to make the move from moving from the height, I'm a Harlem boy. through and through. Uptown, all my life. You know, I know the city like the back of my hand. So when I decided to move out to the burbs, it was only because I had the experience of going to school out in the
here.
burbs. Correct. Yeah. I didn't know I was going to move so
That's
far
a big,
out
that's
east.
That's a big transition.
Yeah,
I know it was
huge.
for me, too.
I didn't know.
Coming from Brooklyn out here was like, wow.
So when I made that move, I remember this clip. We were at Port Jeff Station. You know, we had a couple drinks. You know, we was good. It was a good
Feeling
night.
good.
You know, taking the wives
The
out.
vibe was right.
Yeah, the vibe was good. When you have trust in somebody, enough trust after you've been drinking to make financial and life-changing decisions, you got to trust that person. Now, mind you, I was doing real estate part-time. You know, so the transition for me to take my career into my own hands was it's scary as hell.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's
big
scary.
leap. It's a big
Not
leap.
to have that bi-weekly cushion is it not only was it scary, but it makes you really think different. It takes you from, you know, what you're accustomed to now, damn, I ain't got no income coming in the pipeline. Like, what the hell I'm gonna do? Now I gotta hire an accountant, a CFP,
A CPA.
a CPA.
Yeah.
You know, a CPA. You know what I mean? So now these are things that when I transitioned into, you know, 1099, I had to learn. Of course, nothing is smooth. You surround yourself with people that are going to help you.
Absolutely.
It's,
You
you're
need a
never
team.
alone.
You need a team.
I'm surrounding myself with people that are amazing people. Kev Span, Lou. You know what I mean? So this is what makes business great. You know what I'm saying? So it was hard for me during the transition. Now the most important thing in the world is this season for people that have LLCs, the people that have what can I deduct? What can I deduct?
Right. So
I'm asking, like,
okay.
you know, it's a good question. Like, is the air that I breathe?
No, that's definitely not. I know.
I'm trying.
But I'll tell you what, Carlos, a good thing for people to do, and this is what I recommend to people who I help. And by the way, I just want to make the distinction because we were talking about CPA. CPA, certified public accountant.
Correct.
I'm a CFP.
Correct.
Certified financial planner.
Correct.
CPA is very powerful.
Right.
So powerful that CFPs always get confused with CPAs. And I happen to be very knowledgeable in taxes, and I do a lot of tax work, but I'm not a CPA. So I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
Manage investments and things along those lines.
Sure.
Happen to be insurance licensed also, although I defer to Guru for
All
that kind of thing.
right.
I know enough
Man,
just to be.
just to be
I know
dangerous.
enough to say, hey, you know, you need to talk to a guy like Kev. But that's just the distinction between the two. But as far as what you could deduct, Carlos, I always tell my clients, especially the self-employed, pull up a Schedule C. Schedule C, as in cat, right?
100%.
Pull that up literally on that form that goes with the 1040. Right in the middle of it is a list of categories of things that you could deduct, starting from A to Z, literally. So it's like advertising, accounting, commissions, contract labor you might have paid out, licensing, office expense, rental, utilities, taxes, meals. It's all on there.
So you mean to tell me all this time the Schedule C stands for cheat sheet?
Yeah, man. That's pretty much.
Cheat sheet was there.
It's a cheat
all
sheet.
along.
It's there, but
You held the answers the whole time.
Schedule
it's
C
there.
stands
It's there.
for cheat sheet.
And you know what? I get asked all the time too, and sometimes. And listen, my clients know how much I love them, but sometimes they ask me, so what do you need from me? It's like,
Right.
the same thing you've been giving me the last 15 years, you know?
Same thing.
And it's on that sheet. So to answer your question, I think that's a very good start. Now, is that everything? Absolutely not, because that last line on Schedule C is other. And other could be a lot of things. So that's where your CPA, your CFP, your tax professional is going to help you fill in those blanks. But if you're just starting out, you're young, real estate.
Which is what I wanted to segue into.
Yep.
You
Start
have a lot
there.
of young entrepreneurs that want to be in business.
Yep.
Want to start some stuff. And I know for a fact every agent that walks through my door, every agent that walks and wants to be a part of my team is, you know, I send them to Lou. Like, you know, I want to be a real estate. Okay, great. Do you understand what, you know, comes with that?
Yeah.
Talk to somebody. Be prepared.
Yep.
You know, don't, you know, today, like I said at the intro, you're going to learn some stuff. Pay attention.
Yep.
You know, Lou is the first person that I send them to. And then, you know, when it comes to, you know, anybody that's purchasing at some point during real estate, you need insurance. Kev is my guy. You know, every bit, you know, when you surround yourself with greatness, you are going to be successful 100%. So you know how it is.
And I thank you for that, by the way.
No,
and
of course.
I thank you. I've spoken with many of your team members, and I thank you for that. That means a lot to me that you do that. So
No doubt.
You know, on the strength of those referrals, I appreciate it.
Listen, I would rather have somebody that's going to work for us or work for me prepared instead of, you know, starting to make all this money and then I'm not going to see them for about, you know, 1 to 3 or 3 to 9. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Either way. You know what I'm saying?
And
So pick one. It really depends.
It's so true, but I'll tell you, having a son who we mentioned earlier on.
Shout out to Justin.
Shout Justin. He's changed my life in more ways than one.
That's what's up.
Okay? From day one to now as a young man, because he's doing his own thing. He's making his moves, right? And I see the people he's affiliated with. Okay. And I want to help him, and I want to help all these young guys. I'm at a point in my life now, being 50, I'm 52. I keep saying 53. My wife keeps correcting me. Right? I'm saying you're 53, you're 52. 52, soon to be 53. But when you, Kev, you know, you could speak to this too. You get to that point in your life where it's like, you know what? I got all this stuff. I got all this game. I want to share it.
All this knowledge.
Yeah, and that's the point where that's 100%. The energy I'm on right now.
Right.
I'm happy to work with all the clients that I have. I'm so fortunate to have so many people who have been with me for so many years. So my energy is always there first and foremost, but I'm also with an eye on the next generation coming up and helping them out.
Legacy planning, next generation, next level, and I'm on that times 10,000 because the idea is to die empty. You don't want to take this energy with you. You want to take 100%. This knowledge with you.
Yeah, man.
Give that knowledge away. Share the game.
Rest in peace.
Share the game with the players. And I ain't going nowhere.
No.
He is not going
I'm
anywhere.
just saying,
that's
when
for
it's
sure.
my time, when it's my time, you know, I don't want nothing.
Give the game away. Give the game away to the younger
Right.
players and let them ball, especially now, because a lot of people want to get in this business balling game, doing different things, different ways, and this is fun, man. This is fun to just kick game and to share that and to help anybody that's listening at any levels. But certainly, man, you're dropping jewels. You are dropping jewels.
A lot of gems, absolutely. Hey, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that
Planning is key.
100%. And you know, for those that are going to be watching, it's just amazing that the first episode is going to be so impactful. This is 3 brothers just chopping it up. This is not even, you know, I missed the days of going to the barbershop. I missed the days of, I mean, I went yesterday, thank God, because it was
you
bad.
look pretty sharp.
It was
you
bad.
look pretty sharp.
Bad.
I was going to comment after, but all right.
Shout your barber up because I could use.
I could use
champion cuts in Farmerville.
Champion cuts. You look better than you did yesterday. I wasn't going to say nothing, but
you too, Kev. By the way, you look sharp. My grays are coming in, but
nah.
Shout out to Sam at Sir Shave. He took care of
There
that.
you go.
Shout out to Sam at Sir Shave. That's my guy.
3 brothers chopping it up, and you know, so much knowledge. You know, and the vibe is always going to be great. You know, with that being said, I want to thank you. Lou walked into the office. I swear to God, as the ambulance is going by. Lou walked into the office, into the studio with these Hustle Humbly hoodies and a couple of bottles.
Yeah, a couple of gifts for you guys.
Happy belated birthday to Kev. You know, that's where this is. This is, I'm about to open this right now because it's just been, we haven't been to no bars. We haven't been hanging. We haven't been cutting it up. You know, the vibe has just been different. I think a lot of people have started to become accustomed to how it is to be, you know, or virtually have a virtual relationship with people. The days of interaction. I mean, the human element. You know
I miss.
We need each other.
I'm a handshaker, hugger, kisser, that
all
kind
of
of
the
thing.
above. All of the above, man. I'm just grateful to be here, to kick it with you brothers, to be here. Shout out to our sponsors in this beautiful studio. And finding a way to kick it safely. So
100%.
We here.
Definitely.
We got our space.
You know,
we got our
practice
conversation. We got our vibe.
Yeah. And that's what's up, man. I want to move to, you know, another topic of conversation, and this is directed towards Kev. You know, because I know we've been focusing a lot on the insurance part of it, and I mean, I'm sorry, the finance part of it. Correct, but you know, a lot has to go into your insurance too. You know, I think that you know, for me personally, I just had a son. So my son is about to be 3 months old.
Congrats,
you know,
and God
I
bless
appreciate
on that.
Thank you.
Blessings.
You know, shout out to Mateo.
Yes.
Mateo.
Oh, I love that name.
Thank you. And you know, there are things that I want to prepare for as a father, as a man, as a provider. So what are some, you know, quick basic, things that I should be looking out for, as far as, steps to take in order to make sure that if one day, God forbid, I'm not around, my family is good.
Beautiful. Great question. Great question again. Congratulations on becoming a
Appreciate that.
first-time father. Congratulations to you.
Shout out to my wife,
wifey,
Vanessa.
and- yes, Vanessa, and welcome to the world,
Yes.
Mateo.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Los, that first round advice, I always tell people protect what you have first.
Okay.
Before you go and get anything new, protect what you have. So wherever you at, anybody that's listening, I know you in the house, you protect the house. Anybody that's listening in an apartment, get renter's insurance, protect the apartment, protect
that's
where
right.
you're at.
That's right.
And once you become a parent, it's time to protect the goose that lays the golden eggs, and that's you. And how do you do that? You do that by having a life insurance conversation.
Okay.
But for those of you in 2021 that's young people that's really not into talking to people, you can do your research on your phone.
Sure.
You can look up and see how much life insurance do I need? What should I get? How much is it going to cost? What's the difference between term insurance and perm insurance? Do your research, and after you do your research, then talk to an insurance guru that can actually help you. I put it to people
The
like
insurance
this.
guru.
There you go.
I put it to people like this.
There you go.
If I don't feel well, the first thing I do is I look up WebMD. I look for natural remedies. I try to avoid medication at all costs.
Okay.
If there's a natural way I can heal myself that I can learn from WebMD, I'm going to follow that recommendation. But if I don't feel well for 2 days in a row, I'm calling a doctor because I'm going to get some professional help.
Yes.
And I'll say the same thing about taxes.
Yeah.
I'll say
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing about insurance. And I'll say the same thing about real estate. I
100%.
know I know
Yeah.
I can look, but I don't know enough to make that decision. So
Right.
that's why I'm happy
Yeah.
to be surrounded by you, brothers, subject matter experts in your chosen field that can help me.
Amazing. Yeah, we've had that conversation, because these are things that I definitely, I have no knowledge of, and I think that the more we ask about now that I'm about 4 years into home ownership, moving from the city, my life has changed dramatically. What I didn't have in the city, I for damn sure have now because of hard work and dedication.
Yeah. It's a different thing, isn't it?
Huge,
Yeah.
completely transformed.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? Like, I pull up to my garage and I park. It doesn't take me an hour to find parking
So-
in the city.
Let me ask you a question.
Go
man.
ahead.
Growing up in Harlem, the silver spoon that you was raised with, you
Man.
didn't have a garage in Harlem?
Yeah, that silver spoon. We talked about that
We
one
talked
day.
about
More
that.
like a plastic spoon.
Yeah. The spork I was
Right, I had
talking
the-
about.
I had the spoon with the
Yeah,
fork
the
in it.
spoon with
Okay.
the fork.
With
thing.
the thin napkin that
Yeah,
fell
yeah.
apart as soon as you.
Yeah, that was it.
Nah, man. Yeah, but
It's different.
It's different.
It's different.
It's huge.
It's way in the world.
It's very, very new. And my thing was now that, and it's crazy because when you're running around and as a young cat, not a care in the world. You ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like you have nothing to lose. You're healthy. You're in shape.
You're not thinking.
You're
You
not
don't. You
thinking
don't. You
long
don't.
term.
Yeah, and
You
you
know,
don't have to
and-
worry about those things.
The things that they don't teach you in college, like the people I wish I had in my corner in college, a financial planner, somebody that's going to tell you, an insurance person that's going to tell you, protect your assets as soon as you start to gain them.
Yeah.
Right.
What I didn't have. So now, it's like term life insurance. Please, can you explain the difference between both? Is it
absolutely.
is it something that is it a
it's
rabbit
quick.
hole
No,
or is it
it's
something
quick. It's quick. It's
Yeah?
quick. It's
All right.
quick. Term life insurance is less expensive than permanent life insurance.
Okay.
It's a specific amount of insurance for a specific period of time. For example, $500,000 policy to cover your mortgage for a 30-year period of time.
Okay.
And that's it. There are really no features, benefits, bells and whistles other than the ability to convert it to a permanent policy.
Sure.
A permanent policy, whole life, universal life, it all means the same thing. It's going to last your whole life. It comes with benefits and features such as living benefits. It builds up cash value. You can borrow money from the policy. You can use the money. It's a good way to grow money on a tax-deferred basis.
Yep.
It costs
Which is a
more
which is a
than
question.
term life insurance. The question people always ask me, which one's better? The one that's better for you and for your budget, and the one that you're going to keep depending on where you are in life. So my only preference is to give the right person the right product at the right price so that they will keep it. I've, delivered claims checks, and at that point, a widow or a widower
Right.
has never asked me
Was
what
it
kind of
permanent or
insurance.
term?
They don't ask
Yeah.
that. They're just happy that someone loved them
Right,
enough
right.
to set a few dollars aside every month So I could be in a position to give them a check for, I've given $50,000 checks, $500,000 checks. It's all part of the sacrifice that somebody made because they love someone.
Are there requirements between the two? Like, are there physical requirements? Are there health requirements? What are some of, everything has a checklist.
Everything does.
Yeah.
So qualifying for real estate, filing taxes the right way, insurance is the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually came into the business as a life insurance underwriter, which means I looked at applications that sales agents like myself today sold.
Sure.
Everything's a factor in life insurance, starting with your age.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, with your lifestyle, whether you smoke or you don't smoke, what habits and
Is
hobbies
it ever too late?
It's never too late.
Okay.
It's never too late. It's never too late. Even if you're at the worst of health and you're on your last leg, there are products out there that are available for you. So Google first, because that's the habit of 2021.
Yep.
But then after that, if you have some questions that Google doesn't answer, talk to a guru.
Okay. All right, cool. I mean, there you go.
And supplement too, right? A lot of people I find they think because they have coverage at work that they're covered. Right, Kev? That's a discussion you and I had.
That's a
common
serious misnomer. People
Yeah.
think I have it at work. That's great if you plan on staying on the job until your last day.
Right.
Now, anybody that is fortunate enough to have a job.
What
with
happens the
benefits,
day I quit the job?
that coverage stops. Usually,
Wow.
Sometimes it's transferable. So if you have it, keep it, but add to it.
Okay.
Because most jobs can give you 2 times your salary.
Right.
But I always ask the reverse question: if you had a check for twice what you make, whether it's
Is that enough?
$20,000 or $100,000, is it enough to carry your lifestyle forward? And regardless of anyone's wealth or what they're earning, the answer is always no, because the more you make, the more you spend. Therefore, you're going to need it for more years.
Right. 100%.
And as an estate planning, tool, insurance could be very powerful. So even if you are very wealthy, but you want to transfer some of that wealth in a tax-free or tax-deferred,
Pay attention.
Insurance is a way to do it, because insurance benefit is not taxable.
The beauty of what you're saying is these are the conversations that the wealthy have at dinner that maybe some didn't have at
The barbershop.
And you know what? You bring up a good point. So, and I want to correct myself. I said what wealthy people do, right? But the reality is anybody can do this.
100%.
You
So I love
don't
that.
have to be wealthy
Correct.
to create a legacy for yourself or an estate for yourself. That's just really a term. We think of estate as like mansions and Rolls Royces, right? No, it's like, you know what? I'm going to make sure I have $250,000 so when I pass, my daughter has that money, and she's going to start with $250,000 tax-free money. That's a house. That's a down payment. That's maybe legacy planning for her kids or their family. So that's the head start that a lot of people don't have. So it doesn't have to be millions of dollars. It could be as, I say, little as $100,000, $200,000. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Kev. Right on the insurance. It's not that high a premium sometimes for some of these
It's so
death
little.
benefit
The
amounts
biggest
I'm talking about,
misunderstanding,
right? It's not.
Someone would think that $1 million life insurance policy is going to cost you $1 million. If
Right,
you're
there you go.
young, you could spend $20, $30, $40 a month.
fact.
So you shocked. You're spending your latte money. What'd you tell them to put down, Los McGinnon? The
The
avocado
oat,
toast?
no, that's the millennials. They got to put down
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
avocado
Okay,
toast.
the avocado toast.
The oat milk latte is for the
Yeah.
young gunners.
That
Yeah.
oatmeal latte. Okay, yeah, there it is. So for
Shout
the
out to
cost,
Dunkin' Donuts.
giving up one of those, once a week, and you have a whole bunch of life insurance, and you'll be shocked, and you won't
Yeah.
miss it.
Excellent. That's great.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing, and I agree. I talk with my clients too. Although I concentrate on investments and taxes, I always start every
yourself.
conversation with,
Yeah, protect yourself.
okay, you guys are young, you just got married, you're thinking about buying a house. This is even before they buy a house.
Right.
Because it's cheaper. They're early. Once you know you're going down that path, get it early because it's going to be inexpensive. Every year you wait, it gets a little more expensive.
Okay. Well, we're getting to the wrap-up portion of this. We don't want to take up too much of Ark's time. Shout out to him,
Yes.
EPM.
And the whole EPM Eagle Eye staff.
There you go.
here.
Absolutely.
Nice
Incredible.
setup you guys got here. Thank
This
you.
is a beautiful studio. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I want to wrap this up by saying, I want to take about, a couple minutes, each of us. We're going to start with you, Lou.
Mm-hmm.
What to expect, in the near future, things that you can just, kind of, go off of.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what you do. Tell them what you're about.
Sure.
How, how they can benefit from your services.
Yep, and thanks again for the opportunity for having me here. I've enjoyed it. Again, Lou Soriano. I'm a certified financial planner based out of Smithtown. I can do taxes also, and I do that virtually. I've been doing curbside tax returns before curbside was a thing because I've been doing taxes before I had an office. So I feel like I got a 20-year jump on all these guys out here. But and that's a reality. But yeah, so taxes and investments is my thing. I'd be happy to help anybody out there. If you had any questions about that, you could find me very easily on Instagram or any social media. Lou Soriano, CFP. Thank you.
Well said, Mr. CFP. And I am Kevin Spann, the insurance guru. Almost a lifelong Long Island resident, still live in Suffolk County right now. Shout out to North Babylon, hometown Wine Dance, New York. But my Allstate agency is located in Middle Village.
Nice.
That's where my agency is based out of.
Nice.
But today in 2021, if I have my phone, I'm in business. We have made the transition. We're very, very digital. Not only am I digital, I have a remote staff. We're all digital. Anything you need to do, we can do virtually. We can do with you over the phone, quick Zoom call, quick Google Meet, whatever is necessary to take good care of you. And I would be remiss, both you shouted your families out, so I can't pass the mic without shouting out my beautiful wife, Denise, my 3 sons, Kevin, Nico, and Trey.
There you go, Kevin
and my lovely grands, my next generation, Mr. Mason, and my granddaughter, JD.
Beautiful.
That's fantastic. My name is Carlos Salinas. I am with Signature Premier Properties, based out of Setauket, New York. Shout out to Harlem. Shout out to New York City. My life here has been great. I've been really, really enjoying it now that, I've had a chance, for home ownership. For all your real estate needs, anything that you might have as far as questions, guidance, coaching, anything that you feel that, you might want answers to, give me a shout out. Carlos Salinas Sales at gmail.com or Carlos with Signature on the gram. You can definitely get me there too. And for this podcast specifically, if you have any questions, please email us at therealestatetrifecta@gmail.com. It's going to be therealestatetrifecta@gmail.com. And you can catch us on the gram and on our official YouTube page, The Real Estate Trifecta, on the gram and on YouTube. We're going to be streaming. We're going to be posting this on Spotify. It's going to be The Real Estate Trifecta on Spotify as well. You can definitely catch up on all the content. If you have any questions, please send us information there. Click subscribe, like. Our information is going to be below. Moving forward, we're going to have amazing guests, people from all walks of life, different entrepreneurs, different people from, the city, Long Island, Queens, Manhattan, everywhere. People are going to be coming to visit the show just to give you a little idea that it just doesn't, you don't need to be or have a business already to start a business or be in business. So I'm going to leave it with that,
Well said.
Well
Thanks,
done.
brother.
Well done. Well
Appreciate
done.
you.
Thank you for tuning in.
Loved it.
Peace and blessings. Thanks for watching. Please make sure to tune in to the next episode where we will have special guests, Andrew Russell and Evan Russell from RCG Mortgage.